Hi guys, thank you for tuning in. This is a reading for the week of May 15th through to the May 14th through to the 20th. Okay, let's see what the cards would like to tell us for this week. Okay. Okay. Whoops. Cards flying all over the place. Okay. The center card is the Ace of Cups, so unconditional love or themes surrounding love. This could be family. Let me just turn a little bit that way. Okay, this could be family, romantic relationships, friendships, so anything that involves the heart. Okay, so let me just take a look here. It looks like there is or was a situation where or something that affected you that you got out of. So either you got out of a conflict, you got out of an argument, you got out of a situation, maybe you saw someone's true colors and you kind of put a little distance there. So something that was not right or did not match to your truth, something that did not sit well with you, was removed. That's not to say entirely. Let's say you had a conflict with a loved one, or you saw that there are some qualities in a partner that didn't quite sit well with you. It's not that this partner was entirely removed, but there's a little bit of distance there. Okay, you saw or you realized, understood, noticed something that didn't quite sit well, and you became aware and you put a little bit of distance. So there's not as much reaction, or not as much, you're not as affected by this, okay? Because you see it from a distance now. But what the Nine of Wands tells me, there's a little bit of insecurity stemming from that, or caution. There is more caution, there is more wariness. As it relates to love, let's say, for example, there's a partner, a romantic partner, or a potential love interest. There is something that perhaps was noticed and logged, in the back of your mind, and now there's a little bit of caution in regards to this. So let's say, very, very superficial example, sports. Your partner loves sports or is very affected by a certain team if they win or lose. Having noticed this, you logged it into the back of your mind, and now you're a little more cautious with your comments, or leaving the sports channel on, things like that. I know it's a very superficial example, but what I mean to say is there is now it's kind of like a job interview. When you know what the job is, you kind of mold how you're going to respond, right? And you're going to almost avoid certain answers because that's not what they want to hear. So it's something along those lines. Or a friend who, there's a very sensitive topic, so you've noticed not to touch on that topic or not to pull at that thread. The Queen of Coins tells me that this is a very practical approach. So you're approaching it from a very practical way. There's not necessarily hurt feelings or an emotional reaction. It's more of a practical solution. This is a sensitive topic for my friend, for my partner, or they don't handle it quite well. I'm going to leave that out of the conversation, or I'm going to steer our conversation a little bit around it because I know that it might trigger some feelings of disappointment or something negative in this person. It could also be a family member, or a parent or a mother. You're not going to bring up certain aspects of your life because you realize that it might not be ideal. It may create an unwanted or unnecessary negative energy or aura. So you kind of steer clear of that. And this is a very practical approach. It's more, I don't get that it's very emotional, that you're upset by it or that it has impacted your life a great deal. It's more of a practical, okay, I'm not going to pull at that thread. All right, I'm not going to open this topic of conversation. I'm going to steer clear of that. The love is still there for this person. So this caution has not rid of any love or your heartfelt feelings towards this person or this group. I'm not getting so much it's about self-love this week, but it's more about handling a situation in a different way than you used to. Again, there's caution, or there's not caution like avoidance, caution like I'm going to choose my words carefully. I'm going to choose my actions a little more carefully, more mindfulness in your approach. But the feeling is still there. There is still love and feelings towards this friend or this partner or potential partner. It's more like adjusting yourself to them a little bit for both of your benefit. And that will help with a good outcome, right? Ace of Swords, knowledge, insights. You will learn more. This is a good approach because you will learn more about this person or this group by taking that mindful approach, that approaching it with awareness. Okay, not just going head in and saying, well, I'm going to open this topic anyway, or I'm going to do this anyway. You're being very wise about it and very smart about it. And right after that, I have the Six of Wands. So that is a successful approach, and that will bring you closer to a desired result. It can often be misconstrued that if you don't open certain topics or have certain conversations, that you're not going to get answers. That's not necessarily true. It's holding the space. You're holding space for this person, for this friend, for this family member, for this lover. You're holding that space. You're respecting that boundary that they may have, that sensitivity, that trigger that they may have. You're holding that space. And as a result, it's creating a comfortable atmosphere for them that it's likely they're going to approach you in regards to this on their own. And last, I have the Six of Coins. So it's a give and take. It's a very kind act on your part. By giving this space or by warranting this caution, this mindfulness, by being aware of this person or this attitude they may have or this approach, this trigger, by being mindful of that, holding that distance, holding that space, you're actually giving them a lot. So it might seem at first you're doing it for yourself to not find yourself in that situation, but actually you're doing them a huge favor. It's like an act of love, right? Ace of Cups right in the center. It's an act of love to hold that space, to, respect that privacy or respect their sensitivity, respect their triggers, however negative they may be. It's actually benefiting both you and this person or these people. It's mutually beneficial. Let's see. Right, and this trigger or whatever it is, this tension, turbulence that may arise as a result of certain details, certain words, certain approaches, certain behaviors is actually leading you to take this practical approach. It might not feel practical right away, but it's leading to a solution. It might not seem that way. Sometimes it feels like, well, we're not having this conversation. Especially let's say with a romantic partner, we're not having this particular conversation, therefore it's put to the side, it will not be addressed. What I see for this week is that putting it to the side, or not necessarily poking at it or nitpicking for it, it's actually beneficial, it's helping. Okay, and then I have the Ace of Swords right under that. So this practical approach, this wise kind of approach from a distance that's not necessarily emotionally charged, is leading to insights. It's leading to learning and wisdom and new understandings. Okay, and again, because you took this approach that may seem like a relief at first, it's actually out of love for yourself, for this friend or lover, and it's a wise approach. It's a smart move on your part. And this caution, this distance, holding that space, again, is from the heart, and it's leading to it. It is leading you on the way to more emotional health. Let's put it that way. And it's a wise move. So someone, it could even be a colleague, a boss, someone that it's like you're the mirror in this case. They are being triggered, or they're showing their true colors, and you're kind of like, okay, I'm going to step back, not reflect that to them, not let that be reflected, so as not to trigger the sensitivity or whatever it may be that causes a little bit of tension. I'm going to step back. I'm going to be the bigger person. I'm going to take this practical approach, and it's helping the both of you. It may seem maybe to some that, why do I always have to adjust to others, or why do I always have to be the wiser one, or the bigger person? It stems from love. It really does. Think of a time when a friend was going through something very difficult, something, that you couldn't even really relate to, or you weren't emotionally affected by. You were just there. You were just there. You may not have understood, or for a family member, a sibling, you may have not understood. You were just there. You were just next to them. You didn't even have advice. You didn't know how to help. You were just there. That's holding the space. That's allowing them to be without judgment, creating this distance, holding the space, being mindful of your approach, being mindful of their triggers or the threads not to pull at. That's actually an act of love on your part. And that's going to help them a great deal. Usually I would say, in order to heal or to get on a positive route, it gets worse before it gets better. What I'm getting in this case is for this person, this friend, family member, love interest, or romantic partner, that is not the case. By taking this practical, mindful approach, this careful kind of a little more cautious approach, it's actually the most beneficial at the moment. Instead of really bringing forth all of those issues and head-on addressing them, it's a wise move is what I'm getting. And of course it stems from love. It's a respect for their space. It's a respect for their triggers. It's a respect for the fact that they are the way they are, and you're not going to try to fix them. You're just going to put that distance there, do what's healthier for both of you, and there's only good can come from that. Whoopsie. Okay. So this just came out. Oh, where's the camera? Here it is. The World. So again, full cycle, a completion, a inclusion of all and everything. Okay. Actually, this is the only major arcana that popped up. Major arcanas are like universal truths. So this is all part of the greater picture. It's beneficial for the greater picture. It's going to bring everything together, and it's going to help move yourself, but I'm getting more the other person into a new cycle, into a new wholeness, into a new alignment. Okay, so that's what I have for this week. I hope that was helpful. And thank you for tuning in. Have a good week.